What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Italian Stallion, ready for another episode of Rebels with a Cause. Little late tonight, but that's okay. Just want to make sure that you all know that it is Wednesday nights, and you know what time it is, baby. It is time for the cause, because that cause don't stop till the clock hits zero, baby. Got a great show tonight. Lots to talk about. What a great win. Shout out to the West Rebels football team. They took care of business last Friday night against Davy Crockett, round one of the playoffs. Still undefeated at home in the first round. Took care of Davy Crockett 62-7. We'll talk about the game and how the Rebels looked and just gonna have a great show tonight, guys. Lots to talk about. We got basketball season coming up on Monday night. The Jamboree, West is hosting it, so I hope you're there to cheer on the girls and boys team as they take on Webb. Going to be a couple other good games going on that night as well. I know I'll definitely be in attendance to check out the Rebels and the Runnin Rebels and Lady Rebels this year, and hopefully we'll have their respective coaches on in the next few weeks so they can talk about their teams and goals for the season. So we're really looking forward to that as well. But Monday at the West Tide Gym, 6 o'clock. Don't be late. Show up and let's give the Runnin Rebels and Lady Rebels a boost right off the bat there. Also, got some business that we need to talk about real quick. The views and opinions of this program are not affiliated with those of any other organization or of West High School. This is solely the RWAC Crew's views. Myself, the Italian Stallion, two-paired Tate, Brian Tate, and our stats guy, the coach himself, Shane McGee. So please, do not think that it's anybody else's but the RWAC's opinions. That being said, also please join the chat box live and point out when when we've said something inaccurately or something in error, and also just join in and voice your opinions, baby. The more the merrier. We love to talk sports, high school, college, pro, whatever's on your mind. Let's talk about it. But we got a lot to talk about this week coming up. Got to preview that big game in Marble City, 7 o'clock. Another dance with the Devils. Halls winning their first playoff game last week against Morristown West 21-14. First playoff game that they've won since 2020. So they're looking forward to obviously trying to see if they can beat us there in Marble City. So we need everybody there, fans, students. You got nothing going on Friday night, show up to 3300 Sutherland Avenue and let's root on the back-to-back champs for their quest as they continue for that three-peat, baby. And I can see it and I can feel it. And I'm going to tell you this, I know that they are working hard, doing what they need to do to get it done. Coaching staff getting these guys prepared. I mean, Halls ain't going to just let them have it, but I think that West really wants to show something this Friday night, and it'd be great if we had a really good home field advantage to cheer on the boys and give them that love, honestly. It's getting close to an end, guys. It might be a little chilly, but bring that jacket, bring that blanket, bring them hand warmers. It's going to be a beautiful full moon, clear Friday night, perfect for football. And it's getting close to the end, guys. So, you want to enjoy every bit of it. So definitely show up Friday night. Also, want to give some love to some sponsors. Got to give the love to our guy, Mr. Alex Thatcher, a class of 2003 grad from West High School. Go pay him a visit there at the Knoxville Coffee Company, the best brew in the heart of Marble City, right there off of Sutherland Avenue. Let him know that Rebels with a Cause sent you. That brew is good any time of the day. So definitely go pay him a visit and show him some love, a fellow rebel with a cause. Also got to give some love to my gals, Miss Kim Castle and Rachel Davis over at the King's Chamber. They are doing so much good stuff over there. They take care of your boy, the Stallion, shaves, haircuts, waxes, massages, manicures, pedicures, and they also took you up with two tasty beverages of your choice. They got a great selection to choose from. So definitely go pay them a visit. And if you let them know that Rebels with a Cause sent you, they're going to take $20 off whatever your total bill is. So let them know Rebels with a Cause sent you. All right. And last but not least, for all your electrical needs, definitely contact our guy, the coach himself, Mr. Shane McGee. Give him a call there at 865-299-3206. He will definitely help you out with any of your electrical problems. And just give him a call and make sure that he has enough time to see you and sure that you get taken care of. Another rebel with a cause right there. But that being said, guys, want to have a great show tonight. Lots to talk about. Going to talk a little college football, maybe even throw a little wrestling in there. The bloodline is reunited, the OG bloodline. So that was fire last Friday night to come home to that I record every Friday night because obviously I'm busy with the games. But honestly, we're going to have a lot of talk tonight about the playoffs. We're going to make some predictions, 3A, 4A, 5A, and 6A games. But I also want to give a shout out to the girls flag football that started. So I want to give a shout out to them. Unfortunately, they came up a little bit short in their first couple games, but how cool is that? Girls flag football in Knoxville. The teams looked like they had a lot of fun. I saw 5-star preps take some pictures, but hopefully we'll have a schedule for them the next time they play. Definitely go cheer them on. They fell short to South Doyle 12-25 the other night, and then 0-26 to Powell. But those games were at South Doyle High School. But that's so cool. They had their games, and we root you on, Lady Rebels flag football team. So hang in there and keep doing your thing. Also want to give a shout out to our cross country champions that competed at the TSSAA state championship. Mr. Nicholas Burke got 10th place with a time of 15 minutes and 58 seconds. Also got to give some love to Campbell Asti, 45th place with her time of 20 minutes and 9 seconds. And Macy Gaines, 109th place, 21 minutes and 22 seconds. I mean, it would take me 3 hours to do what those kids did in 15 to 20 minutes respectively. So shout out to them and congrats, and way to represent West High Cross Country. I look forward to seeing what you guys do next year, and anybody else on that team that continues to work and doesn't quit their cause. So shout out to the cross country team completing their season. With that being said, I want to give a shout out to Cuban Kane. Cuban Kane is back. Keep up the good job, James. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Took one on the chin on Saturday. I predicted that, though. I didn't feel good about that game. But it is what it is, unfortunately. But that being said, I'm going to bring on my co-hosts here, but I'm going to do it in a different order tonight. I want to give a proper introduction. So if you're watching this show live or recorded, I want you to give some love to this guy. Thanksgiving's right around the corner. He had a wonderful spread last year. The guy can cook like nobody's business. I'm sure he's going to make a beautiful spread again this year. And guy can cook. Just a good dude. I already mentioned him. He can help you out with those electrical needs. He knows his stuff. We love him here as our stats guy. And also he's been affectionately named, and that name is stuck by our own quarterback, Parker Dubon, as the coach. So without further ado, give him some love, whether you're watching live or recorded. The one, the only, Shane O'Mac, the coach, Shane McGee. What is up, baby? How you doing?
How you doing tonight? How you doing? What's up, Rebel Nation? How we doing too?
Brother, I am doing great. It's Wednesday night. I get to talk football with you guys and talk West football, some college football. I got a big game with the Vols in Georgia on Saturday. Kind of lost a little bit of luster with them getting smoked like they did by Ole Miss last Saturday, but it's still going to be a big game regardless, especially if Tennessee should win. Tennessee's kind of in the driver's seat for the SEC championship, man. So, there's a lot. There's still a lot.
If Tennessee pulls this off, which I think we will, I'm looking at a Tennessee-Texas matchup.
Can you believe that? The battle for the real UT. You know what I mean? They claim they're the real UT.
No, they are labeled Texas or TEX or whatever it is that the SEC has deemed them. We are the real UT.
Gotcha. Well, I can already see those signs in the SEC championship in Atlanta if that should happen, because game day would be there. So, But that being said, man, we got a great game this week. Shout out to our Rebels last week for taking care of business in the first round against an opponent that obviously came into the game with a 4-5 record. But every team that's in the playoffs is there for a reason. And the thing is it's any given Friday. Ask Munford how they feel losing to a 4 seed in Springfield after going 9-1, and they were the 1 seed way out west from Region 8. So the thing is you got to take every game seriously. You got to play like there is no tomorrow, because if the scoreboard is 0 and you're 1 point less than the other team, it's over. It's basketball season, baby.
Yep. Go ahead and get ready for basketball season, or get ready for track, whatever you do.
Yeah, wrestling, whatever, swimming.
Wrestling is good for linemen. It helps with that hip mobility. Just saying that, boys.
Absolutely.
If you're out there and you're a lineman and you got to work on that hip movement, go wrestle. Go wrestle this year.
Yep, for sure. Hey, by the way, Cuban Kane's got a prediction. He says A&M's actually going to beat Texas. So you never know. I could see it. I mean, let me just tell you this. It's incredible, the bloodbath that's happening. And the thing is, now you're going to have that conversation of maybe a 2 or 3 loss SEC or a Big Ten team, more so SEC than Big Ten probably, if they would get in. You know what I mean? Type of thing with their schedule, depending on who they lost to and the, I guess, score, the margin of loss. I mean, you have to look at that and where the game was taking place. They have to take on a road, take an account. On the road in the SEC is very difficult. So yeah, for sure. So yeah. But we got a lot to talk about, obviously. As I mentioned, we got the game this week, and obviously I do want to bring on our other co-host. Let me tell you this, he's so hard working right now. He actually had a Pellissippi State basketball game he was announcing tonight. So the thing is that 2 of them, and basically he was rushing to go from that end of town all the way to his house on the other side of Knoxville. So basically, he's getting set up right now. We'll bring him on because I know he's got a lot to talk about, especially with this game coming up. But I do want to say a few things about our game against Davy Crockett. We, of course, won by a final score of 62-7. And truth be told, we had some really good games by some guys. I mean, offensively, defensively, special teams. It was a really, really special win for the team, and it was a team win. And, I want to give a shout out right off the bat to Antoine Burdine Jr. He had 2 interceptions in that game. We actually have the highlight on the Rebels with a Cause page, so check it out. Not only did he tie the record for most interceptions in a season by a West Rebel at 8, he tied it in style with a pick 6, baby. So you got to definitely keep that. Check out that highlight. And he's now tied with Larry Williford, who we played with, who had 8 in a season, and also Ryan Francis, who played at VMI. That is obviously his dad, Jeff Francis, is the legendary quarterback at UT. His brother Christian and him were both quarterbacks and safeties at West. And of course, his younger brother also is finishing up his final year at MTSU at linebacker this year. So the Francis family, very relevant with West football, and Antoine Burdine Jr. just needs 1 more interception. Hopefully he gets a couple more this week in that game against Halls, and definitely gets the record and sits atop there. So shout out to Antoine Burdine Jr., who's just been a beast for us offensively, defensively, and special teams. So I want to give a shout out to him. Also want to give a shout out to Messiah Wren. I mean, this guy had over 150 yards of just total yards if you combine his rushing and receiving yards, and 2 big touchdown plays. Just a playmaker, and really just coming into his own. Tavion Ray also doing his thing with a touchdown with his carries. Antarius McAllister got in on the action, running the ball. We even had some backups. Jamari Goins, 2 carries, 70 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Shout out to him. Jalen Jack had 4 carries for 28 yards. And even Troy Patterson had 2 carries for 31 yards from the wide receiver position, 2 touchdowns. So and also got to give a shout out to Raheem Lee. He had 2 carries for 18 yards. So everybody was running the rock, and I hope a lot of them get some carries this week as well. Definitely imposing their will. So big shout out to the offensive line. We knew that they could do it, Shane. How big is it that the offensive line is coming into their own right now? And it's been that way, it seems, since the Anderson County game right after the bye week. So
the big ugly is controlling game. Let's just say that's what it is. Like you make those holes you make for running backs to run through. They're doing their thing right now. Love seeing it. And then you're giving Parker time to throw the ball. And last Friday was beautiful. That was just beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. And speaking of Parker, I'm glad you brought him up. Another solid game by Parker, 8 for 11, 183 yards, 2 touchdown passes. Just really doing such a great job managing that offense and leading like he's being a team captain, man, just doing his thing. And realistically, I think you're going to see a completely different Parker Dubon this Friday night against Halls. And it starts up front with the offensive line, and the receivers seem to be doing their thing. The running backs do their thing. I mean, if you just protect the ball like you've been doing these last couple of games, it speaks for itself, man.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
I mean, what I watched, while I didn't get to watch, I listened to it last week, and that was beautiful football. And I'm glad to see the boys playing this way. This is Rebel football, and what we've been waiting on all year. We saw it in the spring, we saw it in the scrimmages in the fall. Took some bumps and bruises along the way, but you came out and played Rebel football this last week, and I see it again right now. We are a 94% favorite over Halls.
Wow.
Where they predict, I'm on three's website right now. They had the score predicted 42-14 West.
Wow. So that's on three's prediction right there. So yeah. And I got to give some love to Jack Keith. Had 6 tackles. I mentioned the 2 interceptions by Antoine Burdine. One of them was a pick 6. Got to give a shout out to JP Peace. He had an interception. Wyatt DeRoche was eaten in the backfield, 5 tackles. Davis Neely had a couple. Also, Sam Lavelle had 7 tackles. So shout out to them. Pork Chop, Antarius McAllister, Abel Ancelot. Trey Bewley had a few tackles as well. Excuse me. A lot of guys played. And you want to know something? You want to give a little love to special teams. Not only did Pete Rogers make an extra point, but I got to give some love to Jones Bolick, punter, usually the holder. He got a chance to kick an extra point last Friday night and made it. It was awesome to see.
When you're up 62-7, I mean, this is
yeah. I mean, absolutely. So. Yeah, but I was happy. I was happy for Jones, because, I mean, he really didn't get to punt the other night. So it was like, you know what, we're going to let him kick an extra point. So why not? He holds it really well for Pete, and that group has been so solid to have that weapon when you need those extra points, when you need those field goals, the kickoff, the field position, whether it's through the end zone touchback wise or pinning a team deep. And even the coverage team has done a pretty good job staying in their lanes and not really allowing teams to take one back on them. I don't think anybody's returned one on West this year. I have to check, but I don't think they have. I don't think anybody's returned one kickoff wise. I think they've gotten probably to the 50-yard line, but I don't think we've allowed a kickoff return.
I think Bearden got close.
It was a punt return. I think it was a punt return on that one.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But they've done pretty well. So yeah. Shout out there to Steven Johnson. Parker has been balling. Damn right he has. In fact, the Rebels are rolling right now, and that's what I like to see, more than anything. And this is you said it best, fourth quarter, right? Fourth quarter, you want your best stuff, and this is the time to be playing your best ball, honestly. And it couldn't come at a better time. And I'm going to tell you this. I want to give a shout out to somebody that called me out a couple of weeks ago and they were actually right. I had to do a little bit of digging, but they basically told me that the offense is ahead of where last year's state championship offense was. And they're not wrong. I think that the defense really masqueraded a lot of things when the offense had some guys banged up last year.
Yeah. The
But
defense was the heart and soul last year.
yeah, and here's the other thing too: the record was where they beat Maryville and Bearden, you didn't beat them this year,
Yeah.
so the record looked a little bit better. But I got to give a shout out right now. The West offense is averaging 33 points a game this year as opposed to 28 points a game at this same time. Defensively, we're allowing 19 points a game, where the defense last year at this time was allowing 13 points. So, so potato, potato.
We lost big playmakers last year to this year, but the offense is clicking better, so it's making up for it there. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Tavion Ray. Absolutely, baby. Keep running that ball, boy. Keep running it with strong and hold on to it and run like you mad at the world, honestly. So love seeing it. Love seeing it, man.
Find those holes, get to the end zone, or hear your name all week.
Exactly. Well, listen, I got him backstage. He's been itching to come on. I know he's ready to talk a lot of good stuff. He's been calling basketball, but I know he's got the energy to go for this show, and he's got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk some boys and girls basketball, too, for that Jamboree on Monday night at West. But I know he's got his thoughts on the big win over Crockett. So let's give him his proper introduction, show him that love, whether you're watching live or recorded. He is the infamous Mr. 2003 West. He has been the voice of the Runnin' Rebels and Lady Rebels for now 19 years, baby. 19 years is going to start this coming month. Let me tell you this, the hardest working guy I know, my favorite Florida State Seminole. I love him, the one, the only, two-pair Tate. Brian Tate, what is up, baby?
Gentlemen, what's up, man? We got a lot of the football team watching. Shout out to Tavion Ray for spreading the word. Shout out to Cam Leggett. Shout out to Dominique Davis. Shout out to James Mills. James Mills, I want this stat to be heard. The man averaged 28 yards a catch.
Yep.
The guys that really showed out for me, that offensive line, Deshaun Battle, Steven Johnson,
Oliver Schmel.
Oliver Schmel, there's an
Brody McFalls.
And
Cotavilla. Yep.
Cotavilla, and I'm gonna say Cotavilla. Is it Gladden?
I think he may have gotten in there. They played a lot of guys. I mean, Mabany got, or I don't know if he says Mabane or Mabany, but he got in there as well. I mean, they played a lot of offensive linemen. I mean, everybody got to play a lot. I mean, even Parker Dubon's freshman brother Grayson got in there. So yeah. So Parker let me know about that too. So
I think what I like what Cam Leggett and Dominique Davis said after the game. I really like what they said. Like they are about business, and like we've been saying. I mean, like we've been saying, when it comes to those dudes in Marble City, when it's about business, they are handling business.
Yes, they are.
And I really like the way that the offensive line, Parker Dubon, that running game of Ray, you can throw in
pork chop now, yeah. And Tyrese McAllister.
McAllister. You can do a jet sweep with Birdine. These dudes are some dudes. And you know, they've gotten better each week. Each week they've gotten better, because there were some times where I was like, why isn't James Mills not getting the ball? Why is Hankins not getting the ball? And what I've seen is they've progressed in the right way of, sometimes you're not going to get the ball, but you need to be blocking. But you got to get, like, James Mills almost housed his second catch of the game.
He did.
Out in the open field, it ain't too many Knox County that can match up with Ray, Mills, Patterson, Birdine, McAllister. like the weapons that Dubon has at his disposal, it makes it easier. And I like what Dubon had said after the game.
Yeah.
He said something very key. He said he's not the typical drop back quarterback. He's more roll out in space, get it to your guys. The drop back stuff, he looked good dropping back this
Oh
week.
yeah, and even with a hand in his face, he got that ball to
Yeah.
Dominic Davis. Dominic gets in there for a touchdown. It was beautiful. And you know what? Shout out to Troy Patterson, by the way. I mean, we talked about it that he came in late from the other guys. Transferred, had to learn that playbook. But these last couple of weeks against Powell and Davy Crockett, just a I like to call him almost an ATM, an automatic touchdown maker. That's what he's become, honestly,
But
right now. So, yeah.
and what I really love, the play, there's probably two plays that stand out, but the swing pass to Ring, and you just see Crockett open up like the Red Sea. And his field vision, like Messiah's field vision will have him playing on Sundays.
Well, you want to know something? You want to know something about that? I want to give another shout out to the linemen. They were running down the field with him, still like they were ready to block some more down the field, man. I love it.
Just don't hit him in the back.
I want to say what Shane was saying in the spring when we looked at the secondary. I remember Shane said these things you fix because by the time playoff time, you're already prepared. And Burdine, look, I'm gonna say this here. This ain't a hot take. He's one of the best players in the country.
Yes.
Antoine Burdine in little bitty Knoxville is one of the best players in the country. If you haven't seen this West High team, that defensive line with DeRoche, Leggett, it is impossible.
And I'm telling you this, the depth is showing up there too. I got to give a shout out to Ernst and Potter, and Sam Hudson's playing lights out. Nalaja Dickey out there as well. I mean, they got a solid six dudes they can rotate up front there, and it's really nice to see. The other thing too that I want to even mention is you've done this. We've mentioned the playmakers at the skill positions. You didn't even get to see David Drata or Corey Person, who've been kind of battling a little bit of some injuries, but they should be back. I think I heard Drata even say to you, "I'll be back next week." So that'd be nice to have him back too. So yeah,
Drata and Corey. My thing with Corey Person is he's such a big target. You can't get him. Corey Person, get him on some fade route. Get this dude. There's nobody in Knox County that can jump.
Yeah.
Like I'm get it. When it's a jump ball, he's winning that a lot.
Well, and the thing is with that is that the offensive lines come into their own, and our running backs are getting into the end zone. We don't even have the opportunity now to throw the fade. They're scoring very well inside that red zone. I mean, there was one ticky tack penalty with the backups or whatever that I don't know why the refs called it, but they called it, and I was just like, I didn't even see the hold, but it negated even another touchdown run that could have been up there. But even the backups, got to give a shout out to Jamari Goins. That boy, 2 carries, 70 yards, both of them touchdowns. Yes.
Jamari Goins has been going crazy when he gets the time.
He does.
Like whenever those dudes get time, it's like Jamari Goins. You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Maurice Jones-Drew.
Really? Okay, I like that.
He runs the ball angry. Like he has angry runs. And what I like is you can go power with Tavion. Like dude is
the Thunder.
He's all bring down, right? You can go power with Ray. You can go speed with Ren. You can get shifty and say interiors get in it. The level of play and the way that they can move and interchange guys running the football is setting his team up for success. Do those screen passes, do those swing passes, because when Devon gets in a rhythm, there's not too many people in Knox County besides maybe Warren Axton that can play better. Like, out of quarterback play, you're probably going to say the Eli kid from Alcoa, who has played tremendous.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably going to say the way Parker Dubon has played after the Anderson County game, you're going to put him in there. And Warren Axton, if I had a vote for Offensive Player of the Year, I'm a West guy, so I'm going to vote our guys. But in that region, he's my MVP. That dude has been playing.
You talk about an important player for a team. For sure. So
he's probably MVP of their season.
You do it every time too, Pear. Good segue to what we want to talk about, because we got the sunglasses on. We handled business Friday night. Well, we got some serious business coming up this Friday night, 7:00.
Serious business.
I have already implored anybody that has nothing to do on a Friday night to come to 3300 Sutherland Avenue and cheer on the West High Rebels. It'll be a show. But we got the rematch in round 2 of 5A playoffs. Them Devils are coming here for another dance. And you speaking of quarterbacks, they got a good one in Amari Lethgo. And last week against Morristown West, he went 18 of 23 for 255 yards and 2 touchdowns. Marcus Moore on the ground had 22 carries for 123 yards and a touchdown in their 21-14 win at Mo West. And of course, Brody Rogers and Landon Vest each had a receiving touchdown for the Hall's Red Devils. But they're going to come in there. They've played West tough these last couple of games. Last year, the 20-9 win was by West, and then this year, obviously, 28-27. But you look at the game right now, and obviously the teams that are here right now, whatever classification you play in, these second round games, Jesse Smitty said it, the first round blowouts are over. Now you've got some serious big games in the second round. Look at 5A altogether. You've got Sevier County and Powell, Halls versus West. You've got Page versus Centennial, and Beach versus Southwind. Those are games that should maybe even be played third or fourth round, and you're having those matchups in the second round. And so everybody wants to win. It's going to be an incredible night of football across the state in all those classifications. But I do know that West has got to take care of business. And I think that they think a couple of weeks ago, Parker said it after the game, we kind of underestimated them, but they've got our attention. So my thing is this: a focused bunch like this that knows what business is going on in our house in Marble City, baby, no disrespect, you have to play a complete perfect game to beat these Rebels. They're on a mission right now. Just my thoughts.
One thing I will say, I got to give it up to this coaching staff. I got to give it up to Coach Roberts and that secondary. When I say everything that Shane McGee said in the spring has held true to form. Shane, man, I love you, because when you said what you said when we were watching spring ball, like from the Catholic scrimmage, from the Gibbs scrimmage, Jeff County, you kept saying the secondary is going to make plays in order for you to turn some things into offense.
Yeah, my biggest thing was they had to work on everything in the middle. They were giving up a lot during the spring, and they fixed that. It is a beautiful sight to see.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Well, the thing is the other night we played so many guys. We rested some guys for this. Halls was in a battle with Mo West for probably most of that game. Shane, am I right with that? And so we were able to rest some guys. We've got some guys that maybe took that game off to heal up. That had been nursing some long-term injuries. We're healthy. We're healthy this Friday night. I like it.
Dude,
so
we're so deep.
We're healthy and deep at the right time.
Yep.
Let me say how deep we are. We've got Dowd as a backup.
Mm-hmm.
Dowd as a backup.
Yep.
He can start anywhere. We've got Harrison, who can throw that. Like, you want to heal? And we've got a quarterback who can scramble, improvise, win with his legs, drive at the middle of the field if need be. Because when he's connecting with those receivers, you see the leadership of what you want from your team. And to watch it on the field, to watch those dudes on the side, them dudes are serious. Them dudes are gonna win state.
Mhm.
I'm on the bus. Like, I'm with those dudes over there. Because if you look across the field and you see Steven Johnson in the middle of your offensive line with Deshaun Battle right on that line, like, them dudes are scary. Like,
Mhm.
it is somewhat frightening to see what they do when they see the opposing line. I feel like they have the advantage because they win it mentally, James. James, they win it mentally. They come out and impose their will. And that's why I said when we talked about it, they said business trip, handle business,
Mhm.
leave it all on the field. Them dudes is serious.
Mhm. Well,
Halls, you better hope there's some turnover.
well, here's the thing
I'm
that
just
I'm really going to say. I agree with you. This is what I really believe. We knew they could do it. They
yeah.
had to believe. They had to believe. And it's like that I love my movie references, but it's like that Matrix moment, like that they're the one. They got to be that way, you know? And here's the thing. It's their story now. It's their story. This isn't Braden Latham and Caden Latham's story or those guys. Love them to
Hey,
death. No, they're second year college students now.
you
You
guys
got
are the
It's
script.
time, it's time
yes.
to leave your mark.
There's no
You guys are
Ryan
the script.
Scott or CJ. There's none of those guys. Not Marshawn. No, it's you guys. This is your story. And now you can write how it goes. And you know what the best part about it is you get to do it at least for 2 more ball games at home. Take care of business, no matter who comes out of that Sevier County Powell game next Friday. Take care of business. You want to play as many games on that beloved field because one day you wake up and you're us 20 something years later. We're hoping for a damn flag football game, like some alumni flag football game. Hopefully, I don't tear an ACL out there or
We,
something. But really,
got,
I mean, come on.
we got the alumni basketball game. We'll have the alumni softball. So we're working towards having all these alumni games, getting a lot of people to see each other from classes. Going as far as back to 88, 87. We still got some people out.
I'll coach. I already got bad knees. I'll coach it.
Yeah, I'm coaching the basketball because I got Amos in my back pocket. I got Amos in my back pocket and AB. We're not. Oh, look, early 2000 class is not losing a alumni game. We will never lose an alumni game. Early 2000s team will win every alumni game.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be interested to see who does participate if we do get that football alumni game going. That'll be interesting to see who's still in shape and who isn't. So,
drafting Larry Williford and Justin.
hey, speaking of which,
and Larry Hurston, I'm going to draft Larry Hurston as my linebacker.
Are you okay? Well, I get Nathan Cottrell if he's down here, so that's what I'm going to draft Nathan. So,
Nathan's going to be on the later 2000s team.
That early 2010s. He'd be on the early 2010s team. So yeah. My alma mater, Larry Frank's on the show. Shout out to Larry Frank, our favorite Cajun from Louisiana. My alma mater had an alumni football game, and 5 guys got hurt before the second quarter. Yeah, I believe it, man. I mean,
we got to stretch it. We got to stretch and hydrate.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, and have plenty of electrolytes at our disposal. Pre-game meal, So, but no, seriously though.
I don't know, of course, that's about as far as it's going.
I don't know if you heard me, but Antoine Bourdin, you mentioned him being one of the best players in the state, best players in the country. You've got to say this. I mean, he is 1 interception away from being alone at the top for most interceptions in a season. He tied it. You got the highlight. It's on Rebels with a Cause. If you haven't seen it, hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Shameless plug. But anyway. Yeah, but he ties the record in style with a pick 6, and he's up there with Larry Williford, who you mentioned, and Ryan Francis, Jeff Francis's son, the famous Vol quarterback from back in the day. So I'm just saying that, I mean, he gets 1 more interception this week. He has the record by himself at 9.
I think
So
Dude,
yeah.
Put your name in the record book. Up there.
I think either Riley Manning and Terrius McAllister or Antoine Burdine is gonna make a play in that secondary.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, you know what? And what about our boy Jordan Hayes? He was killing it. He was the guy against Halls a couple weeks ago. He
Why?
got robbed of an interception. He clearly had his hands under the ball, and
Why?
they didn't even give it to him.
He's been doing yeoman's work quietly, and
Mm-hmm.
you know what? I feel bad because we haven't talked enough about him.
Mm-hmm.
Point.
Number 14, baby. Watch number 14. That is a lockdown corner right there, baby.
But
It
I
is.
will say too, the depth at wide receiver, like you can go to Daggy and you can go to Hankins, you can go to Mills, you can go to Patterson. If Person's out there, he's a
Drata.
match problem.
I mean, Drata. Yeah.
If
I mean.
Drata 2 steps on you, he's got you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
He
and
just
you talked about Troit and Burdine running the jet sweep. You got Abel Lancelot who scored on the jet sweep too. Against Anderson County he had one. So yeah.
and how impactful is Dominique Davis at
Oh
tight?
man. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like blocking.
Oh. I would
Like,
not want to get trucked by that guy. That's all I'm going to say, man. He will truck you. So yeah.
Dude, Davis. Dominique Davis is one intelligent footballer.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way he is viewing the game from the blocking standpoint on some point, because he's helping kick out that line. Like you've got your stalwarts. You know what Johnson's gonna do, you know what Battle's gonna do, you know what McBain's gonna do, you know what those guys are gonna do because them dudes know how to move.
Mm-hmm.
They know how to they keep their feet moving and they have a high motor. But when you look at Dominique Davis, he is secretly a weapon that we gotta find other ways to, because I'm thinking if you ran the same kind of action with Ren on that screen, what if you do that for Dominique Davis too?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna say
Between us, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
this man Messiah Ren, if he ain't playing on Sundays, like, dude, I would say this team, if those dudes wanted to go further and play, I really think you got a bunch of guys that want to be pros, and football can take these gentlemen anywhere in the world.
Mm-hmm.
They've got the coaching staff that really believes in the structure and the program of what we're trying to convey to kids who come to West. Like, you have a family atmosphere of individuals who have played, who have donated their time to this community to see you grow as a man and how to win as a team. Like, we're a team. We talk every single day.
We do.
You know what I'm saying? We're a team. We're like, hey, I got the footage on there. You're doing stats. Coach come in, what you heard. It's like that's the way a team flows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because like if one person was setting up rebels with a cause, it would, you know what I'm saying, it'd be hard to do. But
Yeah, it'd be Rebel with a cause, not Rebels with a cause. So yeah, I mean, yeah. So.
If we had, this is what I would want. I would want student correspondence.
Mm-hmm.
That's the ultimate goal.
I think we'll have a conversation with the AD, Mr. Romero. Just to get better because we're coming up on our 1 year. December, right after Christmas, it will be the 1 year anniversary of Rebel with a Cause. Hopefully, we'll be celebrating a lot of stuff. So that's a hint, hint, wink, wink. But truth be told, I mean, I'm just excited to see this team. And the thing is like I was at work today and I was like, man, I just cannot wait till Friday. I am excited to see the guys play. I want them to do their thing. And, it's almost over. That's the sad thing. Like, and I love that one more week. I need one more week from you guys. I want 4 more weeks with you guys. Okay. And for anybody who's even playing in that Packer thing the week after the championships or whatever like that, I want to watch you one more time because that gives me one more opportunity to see this team together. And I love watching this team. I really do. I loved watching last year's team and the year before that one and the year before that one because you know what I've seen consistently, and it starts at the top with Coach Brown and it trickles down to the assistants and the program. You get better every week. You make the adjustments, you make the improvement. I put this coaching
Shout out to
staff
Coach
against
Shaver.
anybody in the state. Anybody in the state. So
Shout out to Coach Shaver. Shout out to both Coach Shavers.
yes.
Shout out to the Godfather first.
That's right. The CEO, baby. That's it.
Shout out to the CEO.
The man who makes that program run.
That's right, man.
Man, I want to say this, like the Shavers, they are the backbone of our program. They are.
That was the greatest gift that could have come to West High School when Morgan Shaver and his father came to West, and you know it's amazing what they've been a part of through 3 different coaching staff, like head coaches. I mean, you know, honestly. So, and technically, Morgan was a freshman when Coach Rogers was last season. So, really, 4 coaches, whether a player or a coach, you know, they've been through that. It's incredible. It's incredible, honestly.
Yep.
So, yeah. And what about our shout out to our wonderful administrators at West? They get it, you know. I mean, Dr. Spees.
Hey,
Mr.
Carruthers. Shout out to Spees. Let me say, when he came up to me on the sidelines and said, people really watch this show.
I mean, yeah. I've had coaches, parents come up to me and say, the Italian Stallion, you know, that makes me feel good, man, you know, honestly. And it's like, and it's with all love, baby. I mean, we're up to 64 subscribers now. So yeah.
Joy, because, you know, I played with both of you guys.
Yeah.
Man, I played with both of you guys, even though I'm a basketball guy playing football, you know, but it's like just going to the games and filming it and being back and like people say, oh, you're Mr. West 2003. I'm like, wow, you knew that?
Yeah, for sure. Well, and you know,
everybody's probably wondering where I'm at. Like, I'm at home with my kids.
being a dad, listening on the radio. You know, hey, shout out to Jack FM 94.3, Paige and Andrew. They do a great job every Friday night. So if you can't catch the game, you know, on the TV because now they're making you pay with the NHFS, and if it's not on the Rivalry Thursday telecast, definitely listen to 94.3 Jack FM. Paige and Andrew really do a great job, and they use my stats and all my stuff. So anything you hear on this show, you'll hear again on the radio during the games, and then they put the playback after if you missed it. So definitely check them out on the website. So yeah,
Paige got best voices in radio.
She knows her stuff too, man. She knows her stuff. So yeah,
got one of the best like voices of the clarity and the crispness of what she says and the punctuality. Oh yeah, man, she got one of the best voices in the game.
Yeah, I love them. They're right next to me up there in the booth, right there in the middle. So yeah, for sure. Well, you know, let's talk about this game, guys. You know, I mean, we got business, and I'll get my glasses on real quick. This is business this Friday night. Obviously, the rematch, Halls versus West. They're going to have something to prove. Obviously, our guys are really excited about this matchup because they feel they left something out there that even though they won, they know they could have done better. So now you've got the opportunity to go out there, play again, and obviously the winner moves on. Loser, it's basketball season, you know? So, you know, Shane, what's your thoughts and keys to the game for another Rebel victory?
Okay, so I think Halls gives everything that they had. That's been 1, 2, 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
So you know what they're going to do. You know, you come out and play the same type of ball you played last week, and I mean you're highly favored in this game. O-line's got to handle business. Handle business. Parker, do your thing. Control that offense. Control where that ball goes. No limit turnovers. Don't let Halls get any chance to think they're in the game. Knock them out early. Secondary, do what you've been doing. Let's go ahead and break the record this week with Verdine out there. Go ahead and break that record for us. The run game is key. The run game is key. That's been your bread and butter, and it's very, very wonderful to watch when it's clicking like it should. So follow your blocks, get through the holes, defense, disrupt.
Two pair, before I let you go, all I'm going to tell the guys, have fun out there. Love it, embrace it. There is not a better atmosphere on a Friday night than under that full moon Friday night at the beautiful Bill Wilson Field, 3300 Sutherland Avenue. Those facilities, those fans show up tonight or show up Friday night. Honestly, I mean that. Cheer on these boys. I mean, the fact that it's in their hands to defend their back-to-back titles and go for a third one that's never been done before in 5A. You know, have fun out there, guys. Have fun. Make your story. Do your thing. I know you can do it. I know you will do it. And go whip some ass. Simple as that. So honestly, two pair, your thoughts.
My thoughts is have sustainable drives. Really don't give Halls a way to even think that they can win the game. And what I mean by that is treating the ball very precious, because it's almost like psychology from how I'm giving my description of the game. And I'm going to say it really slowly. What West needs to do is every play, every yard, every inch is just one step closer to the ultimate goal. And when Cam Leggett is telling them dudes BTA, belts to you know what, and I'm going to say this, if they keep doing what they need to do as far as running the game and controlling that ball, chew up that clock. Because the more we chew up that clock, House cannot score on us. Because if they're trying to hit those big plays, the way Coach Roberts has got that secondary, it ain't happening, boss. It's going to be pretty hard pressed to go over top that coverage with Antarius McAllister back there. Like, oh, you're on mute.
Yeah, and with the front seven, if they can generate the pressure that they've done the last couple of weeks, that's going to be big, because they were very close. There were some bad angles that were taken against Halls the first go around. I don't see that happening this time. I really do not. So, and you know, a key component of it is the special teams. You know, if they're not going to kick to Burdine and give you a short field, or, you know, punt the ball out of bounds, that's going to be take what they give you field position wise, hold on to the ball like you said. And like you said, man, every inch, every yard, every point that is scored gets you to next week, and then we'll worry about next week. 1 week at a time. But I need one more week from you guys. I really need one more week. Because I love this team.
Let's not look forward to next week. Let's focus on showing Halls who we really are this week.
That's exactly right. So we have a great show next week. So, you know, yeah.
And what I want to say is, like, control that tempo. They have to control the tempo and block out the noise. Like, we're hyping you guys up. We're kind of like when you turn on First Take and they always like, why are they always going for the Chiefs? Why they always? Because you guys are the chiefs of the tribe. Like you guys, you're the big dogs on the yard, and ain't no way the Devils are coming in to Marble City even out with a dub. Like
Halls doesn't have it. Halls doesn't have it.
Halls doesn't have it, and we put on these sunglasses. We mean business, and it's like, look, they are one game closer every time up on the field to winning the state championship. The way we have to say it to you guys in a psychological form of being straightforward, because you guys put in too much time,
too much work.
You put in too much work.
Bust your ass.
The cleaning of the can, the pancake breakfast, the car washes, the
selling those gift cards or whatever they were doing. Yeah, I mean, all of it.
Like, you guys put in too much work at being on top of the mountain. It's hard to be on the top. And you guys have shown the way of navigating through that, because you know that they don't want to see you on that field Friday night. Like, you guys are putting it to the point where you should have had a bye last week. Some people call that game against Davy Crockett a scrimmage. No disrespect to David Crockett.
No, but it was what
That
it
is
was.
the season, but we're on a different mission. And can you show the people what type of mission we're on, James? Could you show them? Could you show them what type of
Oh
mission?
yeah. Oh, sorry. Hold on one second. Sorry. Wait a minute.
Uh,
That's the mission right there.
Cause see, there's another.
Does your finger feel naked waiting for that burger?
I haven't decided index finger or pinky, but I'm leaning more towards the index finger for whatever reason. So yeah, just so I can go number one like that. So yeah.
When other teams see it, like, guys, you have a podcast. You have a podcast dedicated to West High sports on the success of a football program. You have a football program. Like, you guys have really shown and proved, and it is a joy. It is a real joy to watch a Jack Keefe, a Sam Lavelle, a Thayer and Antoine Burdine. Like, it is a joy to watch you guys. Like Jamboree Goins, James. Like, I had a post. I said, man, I'm gonna miss James Mills when he graduates. Like, I'm gonna miss this. Like, dude is just one of those guys you root for. Like, and Terrence McAllis, I root for guys like that. Those dudes, I want to be like, man, I was watching them in high school. They playing on Sundays. I'm about to go get my tickets. Me, James, Shane, we about to go. We want to do that because we believe it and we're envisioning it. And it's possible because this coaching staff, Chad Brooks, the head, Lamar Brown, like, he's instilling the values of discipline and taking care of business.
The culture, the program.
It's the difference between a team and a program. See, a team, after a loss, they might go out to eat together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A program, hey, look, let's go get some food, bring it back to the house, and look at the playbook and look at this game over.
Yeah, we're going to watch the film. I mean, can you imagine? So, yeah, for sure.
Like, this culture is different like none other, and it's reminiscent of what great team culture looks like. Like, West has a great team culture that's created a program within. They got a freaking podcast. Right?
They got their own radio station, the Jack FM covering them, exclusive, Diamond Clear, I mean, yeah.
They got, like, these dudes worked for this. Like,
they did
worked for this. Like, truly put in work and lay the foundation for little kids that want to go to West now.
Yep. And it just is going to continue. It's just going to continue and continue.
If I didn't go to Austin East, I just want to go to West. Like, if I didn't want to go to Austin East and went to West, and Austin East is a great school.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I went to West.
Can I throw this out there? Look, I started out at Bearden, okay? And, for a couple of years there, I always wondered. I was like, why did that have to happen to me, getting kicked out of school? But I got a second chance because of Ken Green and West High School. And you want to know something? I look at these babies every day, and if that hadn't happened, I would not have this. I would not be doing this. I don't know where I would be, but it's because of West High School giving me that second chance. And I owe everything to West. And that's why I am, a rebel for life. I mean, that's what a rebel with a cause is all about, honestly, seriously. So, but I do want to talk about something else real quick. Still sticking with high school football. So anybody that's in the chat room, contribute. Want to also just give a shout out. Larry Frank, love you, man. He wrote us this. He said, I'm so proud of you guys. James, I remember when you told me this show would launch. Love to hear that the West community is watching. You got a fan in Louisiana and more to come. come. Thank you, brother. I mean, I couldn't have done it without you and Devin Lloyd at UTalk. They showed me what they do and how successful their show's been. They're from Atlanta. They just had a UTalk bash down there in Atlanta. The game didn't turn out that great for the Canes, obviously, but the thing is, they had a great show down there with some former past Canes there. A lot of people showing up, and I would love for something like that to happen for us, where we call it like the Rebels with a Cause bash or something like that. You know, it'd be amazing to bring in guests and everything like that. So, but oh, wait a minute. No. Wait, Cuban, I gave you a shout out. Wait a minute. I gave you a shout out for sure. So, man, we love Cuban Kane, my arch nemesis. So he's watching, man. He's even supporting me. So, yeah, he secretly likes me. He hates me, but he secretly likes me. So there we go. So, yeah. No, shout out to Cuban Kane, man, honestly. So, and I do want to say this, though. I want to get to this because it's very important. I didn't create a banner for it, but I want to also include it with this. How did the area teams fare after round one? You know, we lost. Fulton gave Elizabethton everything they got. They came up short. Farragut went up to Dobbins Bennett. Shout out to Coach Giles. Good season for Coach Courtney in his first year, but they fell short to Dobbins Bennett. But I do want to say this. Tomorrow is going to be a big deal because at some point, and I will share it with you guys, we'll obviously cover it more next Wednesday. Next Wednesday is going to be an action-packed show if who we get on there is going to be on here. And I'll let you talk about that in a second. So, yeah. But
Mississippi State's playing next week.
Mississippi State next Wednesday.
Wednesday is going to be a crazy night.
It is. It's going to be a crazy night. Yeah, so for sure. But the thing is tomorrow the regions are going to be announced by the TSSAA. So you're going to find out what your region is going to be for the next 3 years, baby. The next 3 years. And I'm telling you when I say this is that seriously, I am going to be very intrigued of where West is put, where Powell is put, where Sevier County is put, you know, the teams that have been, you know, your guys that have been your contenders. And I will tell you this. If for whatever reason, and I don't really care for West, you put us in whatever region you want to put us in. And we've won, 5 in a row, 5 region championships in a row. We'll win next year as well. But the point of the matter is that why don't you distribute the teams evenly with the regions? Because if there's that possibility that they really want to do Powell, Sevier County, and West all in one region next year, along with the Halls, who's really doing well, and Central, who's coming along with Kevin Lane, that's like going to be like the group of death in there. And meanwhile, you're going to have some teams, with all due respect, that are not going to be deserving to be there, you know, and you're going to get scores like that, honestly, you know. So I hope that, I know that the brackets have already been announced, or the regions rather, and they're just going to unveil them tomorrow, to use a fancy word. But the point of it is, I hope you used your brains with it. I really do, because seriously, you look at the teams, these 3 teams, you know, throw Halls in there too. I would put those 4 teams against any of the 4 from Region 3 and Region 4 respectively, and I would take the Region 3 and Region 4 team over those teams, no matter who played. Shane, am I wrong with that prediction?
No, not wrong at all.
I mean, I think Halls could beat any of those 4 teams over there. Oak Ridge, Lenoir City, McMinn County, and East Hamilton. That's left that you would potentially play the day after Thanksgiving on the road. That's just my thoughts. I'm not speaking for anybody. That's my opinion. And it's an injustice that you have 4 great teams playing right now in round 2 and 3, when realistically 2 of these teams should be playing each other in round 4 the day after Thanksgiving, with the right to go to Chattanooga. That's just my thoughts with it, and so forth. So I'm going to be very intrigued how those regions come out in all the classifications. 4A is going to be interesting with Alcoa now there, you know, next year and everything. So, but like I said, I still think, because we'll play anybody, you know, put Powell in Region 3, leave us in Region 2, put Sevier County in Region 1. I'm sure if those teams wanted to play us, we wouldn't shy away from it. We'll play anybody anywhere, and we'll just have a regular season game and then meet them in the playoffs whenever the brackets meet up. That's just my heart. That's my thoughts.
Hey, when we go out there, we play the Maribels, the Alcoas, the Anderson counties. We show that we don't care who you are. We'll play it. Don't give a damn. The Beardens, I mean, we're ready every time.
Shout out to 332 Studios. Thanks for all the love and all the comments and all the likes, man. We really
Three
appreciate it.
three
Thank you.
deuce, baby. 3-3 deuce.
I
Three
love it. I
deuce.
love it. Love all the support. Cuban Kane,
Now,
Tavion Ray, Steven Johnson, Larry Frank.
so do you know the origins of the 3-3-2?
What
Anytime,
is that? Tell me about that. Tell me about that.
anytime you're going west, notice the sign when you're driving. I just want to just throw that out there.
Okay.
You're over on North Shore, you see the 3-3-2. You just know
Okay.
where you see the numbers.
Okay.
If you're a true West Sider,
And you're driving down North Shore. Okay. All right. I will.
if you're hitting Westmoreland, or if you're going to Cherokee Boulevard, and you know what I'm saying, and
Yeah. Lions View, down Lions View as well. So, okay. All right. All right. I gotcha. I gotcha. I do. I do. I see that eye. I see that eye. So I see that eye. So you bet. So absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah, man. If you can make them do the Tootsie Roll at Cherokee Country Club during junior assembly, my friend, you are a true West Sider. You
I
are a true
love that. I love that. So yeah,
you are a true
for
West Sider.
sure.
Cherokee, shout out to y'all.
So Shane, I know you were really wanting to talk about this. So, why don't we predict some of this 3A, 4A, 5A, and 6A games that are coming up this week? We can start in 3A with the local teams. I mean, Austin East, shout out to Stanton Stevens and getting their first round win last week. But man, they got a tough task against Alcoa. 9 time in a row, Alcoa this week. So, I
Uh,
think we all think that Alcoa is obviously going to win. But man, I just hope Austin East, brings it everything and uses that game to maybe make it a game, not in the future because they'll be in different classifications, but maybe, if Alcoa and Austin East want to schedule each other in a regular season game,
Yeah.
that they build this as a building block to get back to the old AE,
Kind of
whatever.
like the way we had the Alcoa Fulton games a couple years ago, where you want to get those big matchups. And
Oh,
this is
yeah.
a good measuring stick for where AE wants to go. I think it truly is.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, it is. So yeah, and and I'm pulling up that bracket right now for 3A. Obviously, we really believe that Alcoa will take it, but is there any matchup there that you see that maybe isn't going to be chalk? I mean, you've got Unicoi County against GP, you've got Meigs County against Giles County, you've got Sequatchie County against Chattanooga Central. I mean, is there any game where you see an upset in 3A that stands out to you by any chance?
Ooh.
Chattanooga Central game.
Yeah, I could see GP knocking off Unicoi County. I
I
could
can see
see
that
that.
too.
I can see GP beating them. I can see GP doing that.
Yep.
Like, I just don't know what type of GP team is going to be. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
ready to. I don't. From what GP's record is. Did they have a Runnin? How many games has GP won?
So they're 7-3. They're
7-3.
7-3 on the year. So yeah.
Okay.
And they've had to go up against Unicoi this year.
Okay.
Not sure what that score was.
I know that GP's probably played a tougher schedule, in my opinion. If you're really looking at it, I mean, they've had to play Alcoa, they had to play Kingston, so yeah,
Yeah, they played a tougher schedule.
they did, Pigeon Forge, so yeah. But I mean, honestly, I really think that chalk. I mean, I could see GP winning Unicoi County. Like I said, though, I don't really see anybody really challenging Alcoa until possibly the championship game. But even then, I probably see them beating East Nashville for the third straight year, Shane, if I'm being real. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think anybody really out there, maybe a Westview, or like I mentioned, a Covington. But other than those two teams, I really could see East Nashville meeting up with Alcoa for the third straight year in Chattanooga, and that game be televised on WATE. Go figure. So let's go to 4A. Obviously, two pair. You love Gibbs. They got a hell of a game on the road against Greenville. I mean, like look at those games. Greenville against Gibbs, and Elizabethton goes to Anderson County, and that's just the second round right there in 4A. Those could be third round matchups with the right to play each other in the semifinals. Those teams are talented.
They better not let Warren Axton out of the pocket.
Nope.
They better.
But Greenville's just been so dominant over the years, but Gibbs is looking good. Give me Greenville.
I think that ain't a bad choice. I'll just like, man. I've rolled with Gibbs. How many Gibbs?
You've been on the Gibbs bandwagon this year.
You've been on Gibbs, but they're 9-1, and the only one was they had probably the worst game they could have picked to have 5 turnovers against Anderson County, and then Anderson County scores on all of those. I mean, so when you give the team 5 turnovers and they score 35 points, then you lose. I mean, simple as that. So they had one bad game, but they have handled business. And Greenville, Greenville has 2 losses, one of them to Alcoa. But realistically, if the game was at Gibbs, I'd give Gibbs a shot. But I'm going to take Greenville too, because they've been very dominant, and it's going to set up that matchup between Greenville and Anderson County. Everybody's pretty much had circled for a few weeks now, it seems like, for the third round up there. So, And Anderson County's only loss this year is to us. So, is to West. Anderson County's only loss this year is to West. So
I'm not like that game, I think, was the turning point of this season.
It was. The bye week. I've never seen a bye week used by a team so well as West did it. And they have really put it together, made some lineup changes, adjustments, and getting healthy at the right time. It's like the perfect storm coming together, and that was a hell of a team that they played there. I mean, they were the number 1 team in 4A, guys. They really were, and we beat them. We beat them in Marble City, and it was a hell of a game. So and those are the type of games that prepare you for a good run in the playoffs. Honestly, even the losses to Maryville and Alcoa prepared this team for what they needed to do. Bearden. Look at Bearden right now. Bearden whipped the hell out of Jeff County last week, and
they pulled their starters second.
I mean, they could have had a running clock in the second quarter. It was so bad, honestly.
So, that game on, are you kidding me?
Yeah. No, I mean, so basically, I think we all agree that probably, I admire you two pair, keep with Gibbs, but I really think that one of that Greenville, Gibbs, Anderson County, one of those 3 teams is more than likely going to be representing that east side of East Tennessee in Chattanooga, and that game would be played on a Saturday. It'd be the Saturday early game.
I think Greenville might be the best team, but I feel like Gibbs has the best player
on that one.
But one player can't make a whole team. So
that's true. Well, the other thing too is Anderson County. I'll tell you this: Anderson County. When you look at their offense, I like them. I mean, they look good.
I like Anderson County. It was just we made the necessary plays to win. We made the home run plays. Like that run is like that has gone into West lore.
Yeah, it has. So the parting of the sea. Let's go to 6A before we go to 5A. But I want to do 6A. There was a game earlier in the year where Science Hill gave Maryville everything they wanted. Maryville ended up winning, and it was at Science Hill. Well, now Science Hill comes to the black hole in Maryville. I mean, does Science Hill have the team to pull the magic, or does Maryville realize they kind of messed around in that game and they really take it to the Hilltoppers?
I still think 6A is the Maryville traditional.
What now?
Go ahead,
the only loss Maryville has is to Alcoa. That's the only loss Maryville has this year. So
but they only have 1 loss this year.
1 loss, and it happened at home. Surprisingly, that game wasn't at Alcoa. That game was in the black hole on Senior Day that they lost. So that was very interesting that they lost to Alcoa. It's a rivalry game. I get it, but I would have thought Maryville was the better team when we played each team. I was more impressed with Maryville than I was Alcoa.
I was way more impressed with Maryville. Maryville humbled us a little bit.
They did. I think that game in particular really kind of got things, also started as well, in my opinion. So yeah. Bearden's got to go to Dobbins Bennett up there. I think Bearden wins that game by 2 touchdowns. I could be wrong, but realistically, I was surprised Dobbins Bennett won by the margin they did against Farragut, because Farragut was really playing some decent ball there at the end of the year after starting off slow.
Bearden's favored by 61%.
So 61-39 is the difference, and that is what. Yeah.
Prediction is 28-22.
I could see that. I could see like a 30-20 game, or like maybe 35-24, something like that. But I think Bearden goes up there and takes care of business against Dobbins.
No, Bearden's quarterback has definitely. He was out injured for like 4 weeks.
Yeah, since the Maryville game. So. Yeah.
I did not know this. He is a Tennessee prospect.
Yeah. No, he's only a sophomore. Tennessee's looking at him. So,
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you look at 6A. I mean, honestly, I think that the 3 best teams in the state in 6A that are probably going to be vying for that, Ravenwood on the other side, obviously the winner of Maryville Oakland from Murfreesboro. So I think it's either going to be Maryville, Murfreesboro, Oakland, or Ravenwood. And right now, their first game performances showed as much.
Ravenwood, one of the top ranked teams in the state.
Ravenwood is also the only team to beat Alcoa, and they did it at Alcoa, and it was a dominating win. So Ravenwood is definitely back to their old ways of what they used to be.
Ravenwood is number 4 in the state.
So yeah,
they're ranked number 4 in the state. Maryville is number 7 in the state. So it's going to come down to those two.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and realistically, obviously, I take it they have Baylor and McCallie from the private school league ranked ahead of Ravenwood at this point, and so forth. I would bet. So
I can pull up the rankings.
Yeah, I bet it's Baylor and McCallie, or McCallie and Baylor. So yeah.
Let's look at the rankings for our state. All right, Baylor's number 1.
Yeah, Baylor's number 1. So yeah.
Worth. Oh, they got Ravenwood at 3.
Yeah, I bet Raven was really damn good. So.
They're just above McCallie with a composite score.
Yeah, and you see McCallie has 2 losses, but one of those losses was to Baylor, and the other loss was to an out-of-state team that they played in one of those high school classes.
They got Christian Prep or Christ Prep, Presbyterian.
Yep, they're good. CPA.
Brentwood, Maryville, Houston, Alcoa, Collierville, Riverdale, Franklin Road, Page, Brentwood, Beach, Greenville, Lipscomb, Anderson County, Bartlett, then West, Upperman, Germantown, Powell, and Father Ryan. That's your top 25 in the state.
Yep, I believe it. So, yep, for sure. So, and it's going to show. So, yeah. Well, let's get to 5A. Let's talk about the 5A bracket. We'll go through these games. We'll start off with the other side. You've got number 1 Shelbyville at 10-1 against Nolansville, who's 7-4. The game is at Shelbyville. Who do you guys got in that one?
I got Shelby.
Yeah, I like Shelbyville.
I got Shelbyville too. I think that they move on. They would face the winner of Centennial and Page. Page Obviously 11-0. Who do you guys got between Page and Centennial?
Page.
I got Page too. So
Page is on a mission, and
they are making trips.
Yeah,
they're trying not to be the Buffalo Bills, is what they're trying not to be. So right now, I mean, shoot. I'll tell you one thing. Probably one of the most exciting games, and I'll probably go back and watch it Saturday morning, because it will be on the NFHS network. Beach, who's 10-1, will be hosting Southwind, who is also 10-1. That is a matchup between the 3 and 4 team in the state in the 5A classification. So, who do you guys got there, Beach or Southwind?
I got Beach.
I'm gonna take Southwind.
You're gonna take Southwind. I'm gonna go with Beach. I just think that Southwind beat Beach last year, so I'm thinking Beach wants a little bit of revenge. But can I say this much? Whoever wins that game will be playing Page the day after Thanksgiving, and they would be hosting because it's an even year. So Page has to travel for the fourth game should they get through the gauntlet we think they're going to get through in their quad. The quad 3 winner travels to the quad 4, so that Beach South Wind game technically would have home field advantage for the next 2 rounds. That's how big that game is this week. So keep an eye on the Beach South Wind game. And then to finish up that other side of the bracket from the West Tennessee, Henry County 7-4 will be hosting Springfield, who's 6-5, who sprang the big upset on number 1 seed Munford out there. So Henry County won the regular season game when they played. Do you think Springfield gets revenge, or does Henry County win again?
This was a tough one for me, but I went Henry County.
Yeah, it's a tough one for me as well, but I am going to go and stick with my pick that I thought it would be Henry County. So Henry County is who I'm going to take over Springfield. What about you two, pair?
Ugh, Henry County.
Henry County. Okay.
I was first on that one. I was thinking to myself, but I take Springfield. Springfield playing home.
No, actually, Henry County is going to be at home this time. So.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm changing my pick. I'm looking at these scores from last week. I'm going to go Springfield.
It's not a bad pick. I mean, it's not a bad pick. Honestly, I kicked myself for not picking Springfield to upset the Munford, but I went with Munford.
They won 32-29, and Henry County put up it was 20-6 over Memphis Central. Munford was good. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go with Springfield.
Okay. All right. I'm going to stick with my Henry County pick. That's what I'm going to stick with. So, yeah. Okay. Moving on to Quad 2. Oak Ridge hosts McMinn County. Oak Ridge was very lucky to beat Ray County last week. I know Oak Ridge is battling some injuries, but still, Ray County missed the extra point, and Oak Ridge held on to win 7-6. Don't know what would have happened had that game gone into overtime, but Oak Ridge found a way. They are hosting at historic Blankenship Field the McMinn County Cherokees, who are getting healthy at the right time and have their quarterback that they didn't have for the first Oak Ridge game, and they're a different team with him. So who do you guys got, Oak Ridge or McMinn County? And the game is at Oak Ridge this Friday night.
Oak Ridge is the home team.
Yeah.
Give me McMinn.
I'm going to go with the Cherokees.
I'm taking McMinn.
Yeah.
Something about this McMinn team and just the way Oak Ridge is playing, they got injuries, and when cats are healthy, they could probably cause some problems in this game.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think that. I think with a lot of players being hurt, the way you slugged it out to win that game. Yeah, I don't know. McMinn just looks a little bit more. It might be a little bit of a task for Oak Ridge.
Yeah, I think that McMinn County probably wins, and the sad thing is, Oak Ridge loses this game. That's it for them in 5A. They are a 6A school next year, and that road's only going to be tougher. So that's just some thoughts there. So the other Quad 2 game, Scott Cummings takes his Lenoir City Panthers. I don't call it an upset. They were the higher seeded team, but that game looked very much in control of Walker Valley. Lenoir City turned it on, took it to 3 overtimes, and outlasted Walker Valley. I was wrong with that one. Shout out to you, Shane, for picking that one right. But Lenoir City will now have the task of having to travel to East Hamilton down there in Chattanooga. East Hamilton's 8-3. They beat Carnes last week. So who do you guys got, Lenoir City or East Hamilton?
East Hamilton.
Yeah, I'm going to go with East Hamilton. I think the magic of Coach Cummings runs out, but shout out to him and what he's done in 1 year there. And once again, Lenoir City, keep an eye on them in the next couple of years with Coach Cummings at the helm.
I'm going to say I love Coach Cummins.
Me too.
I think
The reason I got into coaching.
they make. I say this year they lose by 3 to East Hamilton.
Is there a prediction on that one, Shane, by any chance? Like, I would think it would probably be a pretty big margin because East Hamilton was the 1 seed, but like I said too, Eddie, that's what they play the games on Friday night. So you could see if the longer they hang around, the longer they'll believe, and he'll have those kids believing. We know that much about Coach. So
Let me see if I can find
One
it.
of the best coaches to ever play for, man.
yep,
Yep.
me too. Me too. Well, while he's looking at that, I mean, we all agree East Hamilton wins. Now to quad one. The game is going to be on television for the Packer game on Friday night. It will be at Sevier County. Sevier County, and I was interested in this statistic. Sevier County, in their 100-year history of being a high school, has never been undefeated. So I guess they had one loss when they won the year that Joey Matthews was there. I think they had one loss that year that Joey Matthews helped them win the state championship or what have you.
DJ Burden team.
Yeah, I think they had one loss because they said that they've never been undefeated at this point. So basically,
Never heard that.
Sevier County's 11-0, and they're taking on Powell. Powell coming off a win against Tennessee High, 9-2 on the year. Powell's going to be visiting, and like I said, it's going to be the Packer game of the Friday night. So who do you guys got, Powell or Sevier County?
I got Powell, and Powell is a favorite team.
Gotcha.
Sevier County has never gone undefeated.
Never.
And
I guess they lost a game in the regular season and then took care of it in the playoffs. But
so
yeah.
PJ Burden, Joey Matthews team that won state, was that 2001 or 2000?
No, they were 98, actually, if I'm not mistaken. They were 98 or 99, one of the two. As a matter of fact, 98. So, yes. Because then Joey went to Tennessee and was a redshirt freshman in 2000 before Casey Clausen took the job from him and so forth at quarterback.
But so Sevier County, didn't they win in 2000?
They had a good season, but no, they didn't win it all in 2000. That championship came in 98, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought they won
Yeah.
I thought they got a championship.
No, because in 2000, that's when Riverdale and Oakland were starting to take over in 5A back then. So, yeah, because it was only 5As back then.
They had PJ Burden, who was just...
Oh, that was a hell of a team. No, so that Sevier County team was a hell of a team. So, yeah, for sure. So, Tooper, who you got, Sevier County or Powell in that game Friday night?
It's in Sevier County?
It is in Sevier County. It is.
You think the Smokey Bears packed that place?
I think they're going to have a good fan showing. That's going to be their thing. If they can have the crowd into it, take care of the ball. An interesting stat, their quarterback hasn't thrown an interception all year. He's thrown 34 touchdowns and no interceptions. Say what you will about the competition, that's still impressive. I don't give a shit who you are.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I got Powell going in there.
Yeah. I think Powell is going to be too tough for them in the up front, the trenches, so to speak. I think Deuce does his thing against them. But I will say this, if Sevier County's offensive line gives that boy any chance back there to throw the ball, Powell's DBs are susceptible to the pass. Where they've masqueraded it is against the teams they've played that didn't have an offensive line. They put pressure on the quarterback. If SC's O-line can hold up, that game might be interesting. But if Powell is kind of getting back there and putting pressure on him and getting to him, it's going to be a long night. It is. Because I don't know how Sevier County's defense will do against Powell's offensive line and Deuce. So
looking at the teams Sevier County played this year, I think their record is or their rankings will fluctuate based on the teams they've played. Powell's favored at 73% with a 13-point win margin, so I'm going Powell.
yeah, I'm going to go Powell too.
I think they've had an easy way through the season and into the playoffs, and they really haven't played anyone. I think their toughest game this year, they were predicted to lose to Jeff County, and that was the only team that they were projected to lose to. The rest of it's been them the whole way. So I'm going Powell.
I just feel like as far as competitive, like who's the county saw this year?
What was the question?
Who's the toughest team Sevier County saw this year?
East Hamilton on the road. They won 29-0 a couple weeks ago.
Knox Central gave them a decent game.
Yeah, Central actually was getting to the quarterback a little bit. So yeah.
Years, man. We gotta. They're gonna be a problem to deal with like in the future. We really got to keep our eye out on Fountain City because they're getting guys. Like, it's one of those things you got to really watch out for. And the way 3A, 4A, 5A, and 6A, it's heavy hitters in each.
Mm-hmm. No doubt at all. So no doubt at all. And then obviously the last game, Halls versus West. Halls, the first time 28-27 in overtime. This time it is in Marble City, 7:00. Again, show up. Who do you guys got? Halls or West? Give me a score if you got it.
I'm taking those dudes from 3,300, and I feel like it's not gonna be pretty. I feel like West is handling business and taking care of business, and it might be over before halftime. That's the kind of positivity. If it gets close, it's because we'll make some key mistakes or have some turnover, but they're not turning over that ball. They are treating this ball like, look, it's go time. Like, we are at the door, and if you're coming into this house, you're not leaving with a dub. We throw up.
That's right. That's right. Two-pair, I can't argue with you. I'm not going to be disrespectful or anything like that. I think that Halls has a fine team. I think they're well coached. I think they've got some playmakers. But I think that at the end of the day, coming to our house Friday night, the way this team is focused, the way this team feels, they really probably played their worst game of the year a couple of weeks ago against them. They want the redemption. They wanted this matchup, and they're going to come out there focused and impose their will and give us another home game. So give me the Rebels Friday night. Shane?
It's West all the way. My score prediction, 45-13.
There you go.
I think the second half we just blow them out.
Yeah. Yeah. No, if we start out fast and really take out the will and everything like that, there's no denying.
I think everything Halls has to offer in the first half, and I just think they gas themselves out going into the second half and we just pull away.
Yeah.
I see the first half being a little close, and then it's all West the rest of the way.
Absolutely. So
now the boys want to make it towards a running clock by the second half. I'm all for it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, well, kind of switching gears to pair, we've got something exciting to talk about that's happening Monday night at West High School, and that is they're going to be hosting the basketball Jamboree on Monday, and the boys and girls team respectively will be taking on the Webb Spartans and Lady Spartans. So, Two-Pair, talk about what you're looking for Monday night. We've been excited, and you even had some conversations with the grave digger, as I like to call him, Coach Graves, and they're really excited about the girls' team that they have this year. We've talked about the boys at times, but tell us about the girls' team and what you've kind of heard so far.
Well, just the coaching staff. I mean, with Tate Reddick, Coach Graves, and the amount of players that they're having, like I really think Ashton Stewart is going to have a huge year. I think Adelie Adams got better. I think Malia Queener got better. I think this is going to be a different program that we've not seen in the past. And it's more of a relation between coach and player and just finding things that really work because the parents have bought in. Like, shout out to Chastity Gaines. Shout out to all the parents because, they put their stamp with those girls of saying, hey, look, we're all buying in. Just by the way they looked that I've seen, like there is anticipation on how well Caroline Smith has gotten. You know what I'm saying? So I really think, this ladies program, it's gonna be interesting to watch because I feel like they're gonna give teams problems. Like they're gonna be that team you don't want to play just because of the coaching style and just the overall toughness of this team. It looks different. It looks
Mhm.
really different from past West women's basketball teams.
You'd almost argue that this could be, there hasn't been an excitement in this program since maybe the early 2010s when it transitioned from Kessler to who their coach was back then and so forth. I mean, I really believe just by their media that they put out there, the girls looked like they were having fun when they shot that, and they needed that because I'm not going to lie. Last year, I come to a game, they're handing me a piece of paper, but it's with the boys roster and what the boys featured player of the game of that game was what like 25 questions, their favorite stuff, and it's like, well, where's the girl stuff? Where's that? And I'm hoping to see that. I want to know about that team. And because when you pay for the game, you see both teams. And I think there's going to be an excitement there, and I'm personally excited. I will be there Monday to cover it. And I'm excited about that to see some basketball Monday at West High School. Obviously, the boys team, going to be a favorite for state this year, obviously, with what they've got returning. And we know the strides they've made this off season and what they did over the summer. Their hard work going to show. And what a worthy opponent to do that, against Webb, who traditionally has good basketball teams and boys and girls, no matter what year it is. And of course, they're a private school, but still, nice opponent to see where you stand, even if it is a Jamboree game. So,
Right, right. Even though it's a Jamboree game, because you just really want to see where you're measured at. And I'm just really interested of how Coach Eggleston is going to work this lineup with just the different variations because Reese Clark is going into his senior season.
mm,
Like the senior depth is something like we've never seen in high school basketball. Like
mhm,
since the days of that vaunted Bearden team with Daniel Craig, DeMonte Simpson, Nathan Parker,
yeah,
that uh, that Rico White, Dion Fair, like that group. That was some seniors right there. Like,
yeah.
and we had to go up against those seniors with our group of seniors at the time. So uh, just the way Coach Eggleston is getting these guys prepared, like they had an incredible summer. Devin Martin is getting looked at, and the guy that I think that will be getting a lot of looks at will be Kevin Jack, Jalen Hill, Mike Nelson, who, man, you want to talk about in the lab. Garrett Birch, who the law firm of three, Schuler,
Mhm.
Dupree, Birch, Schuler, and Dupree. the law firm of three.
I love it, and I named him that. I liked it, so you bet. So yeah,
law firm of three.
that's right. That's
Birch
right.
and Dupree.
That's it. It flows. It goes off your. And then you said it so beautifully when you were on the mic announcing the games. And two pair. Me and Shane were kind of talking about it before you got on there. What an amazing feat, man! 19 years you have actually been calling these teams. I mean, that's something,
Right.
man. 19 years, the voice of the Runnin' Rebels and Lady Rebels, man. Honestly, so and look how many coaching staffs you've been through. I mean, honestly, now. So yeah.
I've been
All
through
of them.
every coaching staff at West.
Yeah.
I've seen the test of time.
You have. You really have. Well, you want to know something? And the other thing that we've talked about privately, and we do have to, and I'm sure Romero, as busy as he is, we've got to pick that game where that 2000 group gets honored, the only district tournament champion, 25-year anniversary
It's gotta
of
be.
that. That would be December, wouldn't it? If it's that game, it'd be December. We play them early this year. The road game, the return game's in January.
Ooh.
Provided there's no Snowmageddon. Provided there's no Snowmageddon.
So this
Those.
December 17th, I think, is when they play.
Well, you know what? It needs to be the Sevier County game. No, we don't play Sevier County.
We don't play them. No, you have to look at the schedule. I mean, I think they've got, they've got the usual, the Farragut's, the Hardin Valleys, and everything.
It could be a Farragut or a Hardin Valley game. That's what
it should be. It should be. So yeah,
because I think we had to play Farragut, or we played the region.
The region at Farragut. Yeah, that's it. And they came up short against Sevier County in that one game. That's the thing.
Yeah,
so,
hated that daggum PJ Burden, man.
That's it. He was there.
To find out if anybody knows where PJ Burden from Sevier County is, he's one of them dudes you remember for breaking your team's heart.
Well, he's either got a Facebook or an IG or something. I don't know.
Hey, I just want to tell this dude, I'm so freaking ticked at you because you ruined one of the great teams. That team was so good.
It was, and they you talk about hitting their stride when they needed to. The stories and if anybody, for those that have joined Rebels with a Cause now, all of our shows from the beginning are on the page. Go back to the Mike Morrow interview. That was gold. Shout out to Mike Morrow. Honestly, that was a gold interview that night. So talking about that team.
That's one of the best shows we've done.
Some of the interviews have been great to learn about the history, and we'll get some more guys, obviously, and so forth. And I'm hoping to get AB. I'm hoping to get Brandon Bell. Definitely some guys. I know they're busy, but they promised they would come on and so forth. So hopefully, as we get closer to basketball,
Tyler, we got to hit.
We got to get Sekou. So yeah, for sure. Troy Mapp. I'd love to get Troy Mapp on here or something like
Preston,
that. Preston. Got to get Preston some love too, for sure. So
oh man, Hootie Henderson on the show.
Yeah. So if you get Larry, you got him for football and basketball. You'd have to ask questions about. So yeah, for sure.
Football, you got. Man, we got some really talented guys that we went to school with. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dixon Greenwood. Avery Boss Graves.
That's right.
On this show,
we do need to get him. We do need to get him on there. No, there's a line. There's a line of guys that need to go.
Big O, if you're watching the show, Dink. If you're watching the show, Marquise. We need Marquise Tillery. Daniel Lee.
Now you're name dropping. Now you're showing off name dropping.
Man.
Shoes.
There's some guys that need to be on this show, man.
No, we listen. We got to get them on. We got to get them. We got to coordinate that schedule and get them on. Honestly, for sure.
Yeah, so, man.
Yeah. Even if we got to tape the show, like they can't meet on a Wednesday night, like we tape it and air it. You know what I mean? Like an off thing and so forth. It'd be a pretty cool panel. So yeah.
Oh man.
Sure. So
yeah.
I want to switch gears. So real quick, last 6 o'clock show up Monday at West High School and get a preview of the Runnin' Rebels and Lady Rebels. Got to show up and support them as well. So,
Got to support the
yeah,
run.
absolutely. So, wanted to talk a little bit about college football this past week. Have we gotten any confirmation of Nico? Is he available? Is he not? Is it a game time decision? I've not heard anything about this.
He's listed as questionable.
Okay.
Questionable.
Yeah.
So not on the verge of I mean, questionable isn't bad, but
Yeah.
I feel like is questionable a step up from probable?
I believe it's out, doubtful, questionable, probable, and then active. I think those are the 5 statuses. So
Yeah.
yes, yeah,
So he's questionable.
he's questionable. So
I if Georgia gives that same look that Arkansas gave Tennessee, it's gonna have the offense in fits, but it's like you've seen it. You've seen that same look. Now it's like implementing what you can do over top and underneath those coverages to make Nico comfortable because they're going between the hedges. And the last time Tennessee won down there was 2016 on the hell of Hellas Marys.
mm-hmm.
You know what? They always show that whole replay, but you never see Evan Barry's return that got us to that position.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They only focus on the Hail Mary. I mean, that's it. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's interesting. Going back to last week, I'm absolutely just was in shock that Ole Miss beat Georgia. Not that they just beat them; they dominated that game. Okay, they dominated that game, and I don't care that it was at Ole Miss because I saw Kentucky go in there to Ole Miss, and I don't. And if Ole Miss underestimated, they underestimated, but they lost to Kentucky. So I was like, this has just been a strange year, I mean, anybody can beat anybody. But here's the other thing, too. If Tennessee had taken care of business against Arkansas, we'd be number 1 and undefeated right now.
It's always Arkansas, though.
There's teams.
Yeah.
Well, it's like what I told you about Miami last week with Georgia Tech. Every time we'll ruin Miami's season. Every time. And so there's certain teams that are like for Penn State, they're probably going to go 11-1, and who's the one? Ohio State, who's beaten them 7-8 straight years or whatever like that. So
we're just talking about that. They'll never get over that hump.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what was really interesting? The college football playoff guys last night made a statement that I find very intriguing. Let's just say, for shits and giggles, Indiana, Ohio State, and Penn State all get large bids. And Oregon gets the 1 seed. They go undefeated. It's going to be intriguing that Notre Dame and some of these other teams might be ranked higher than the SEC, and they're going to get home games. And it's going to be like snowing in December. And those Southeastern teams ain't going to want any of that, man.
But here's the thing. The Southeastern teams, it doesn't matter about the way. Like, we really can play any style of football because the athletes, I feel like our athletes are it's different. Like,
yeah,
your elite talent is coming from these schools. Now, there is a certain percentage of guys from the Big Ten and the ACC that, go on to the NFL and create Hall of Fame careers. But you look at that region that we play and you bring up the travel concept, we play in rougher, louder stadiums.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's true. It's true. It's a different brand of football. It's more exciting football to watch. And look at the games that have happened this year. And you still have 3 more weeks of this chaos. I mean, our guy Cuban Kane predicted Texas A&M to maybe upset Texas, and they haven't played in years. So that's a rivalry game. And here's the thing. Two pair. You mentioned Vanderbilt at the end of the year against Tennessee. I say all that from this standpoint. Tennessee has probably the best position they can be in. They control their destiny. Handle business on the road. Who's next week? Is it UTEP or is it somebody else before they play UTEP?
That's UTEP.
It's UTEP. Okay. And then they finish out the year with Vanderbilt, correct?
That game still worries me right now. So.
Yeah. Well, Vanderbilt's a good team. They're still a very good team. And Texas is damn lucky that they got out of there with, the 3-point victory they did. Otherwise, Texas wouldn't even be in this conversation right now. So I say all that. And then the other thing, too, the other game that stood out to me last week was Alabama just beat the absolute shit out of LSU. I mean, it wasn't even close. It was, and I've got some guys that are big LSU fans. Shout out to Brian Batiste and Jarvis Lockhart. But I'm just saying, they got whipped, and it's like that cannot be the same Alabama team that Tennessee, took care of a couple weeks ago. Man,
that baby took care of
LSU. Man, like
wow.
My problem with LSU is just like when it's on the big stage, it just USC. That was just bad. Like,
Can I say this? Do they miss Orgeron? Because let me tell you something. That guy was LSU football, man. Look, they had the stars aligned, but I'll tell you this. I never saw Orgeron get punked that bad. Not that bad. Brian Kelly's just, I don't know, man. So.
You know what? This serves LSU right. Like,
Yep.
you ran that guy out of town.
Yep.
Who gave you your best season since Saban,
Yep.
You ran that guy out of town, and you put up that piss poor performance
at home, game day.
Against Alabama. You had the night game. It was in Death Valley.
Yes.
I never seen the crowd storm the parking lot faster.
Yeah. I mean, you want to know something too, Per? I'm glad you brought that up because realistically, here's the other thing that LSU should be ashamed of themselves. You could have ended the Alabama. They still have a chance. They're still lingering around. You had them by the cojones and you didn't do it. I mean, you didn't. And now you're the ones out, I mean, terrible. Just awful.
My thing with those dudes.
Awful.
No, every time LSU gets on the big stage, can I point out the loss?
Please do.
Twice to Florida State in prime time.
Uh-huh.
This year to USC in prime time.
Can I throw something else out there? One of the LSU games was in the damn Superdome in their backyard. Wasn't it in the Sugar Bowl? The first one was. Yes, and they shit the bed. Keep going. Yeah.
So the first one was there. Then they lost at Florida State in Orlando.
Yes.
Orlando. Yeah. Lost in Orlando. Then you play USC to open up this year's season.
Mm-hmm. In Texas, in Dallas' stadium, I believe, if it was.
In Texas. So you got a big flock. Louisiana, Texas, bam, that's right there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So you got a big flock there. And you play Alabama. Shane, night game in Death Valley.
Yeah, you don't lose those games. No one wants to go to Death Valley at night. No way.
They beat a better Alabama team 2 years ago in the Death Valley game, if you remember. That knocked out, that really hurt Alabama's chances 2 years ago. The only reason Alabama got back into it was because, if you all remember, was the SEC championship win against Georgia.
Yeah.
I mean, they I don't know, man. I'm in shock. I really am in shock. So yeah.
I'm in total shock about that. Like, LSU that is disheartening because I really thought they had a shot. I said, you know what? I feel like if it's at home, LSU, Death Valley at night, they couldn't contain Milroe. Milroe was, I ain't saying Lamar Jackson, but it was esque.
It put him back. It put him back on the Heisman ballot. I'll tell you that much. His odds went up big time. So yeah, I mean, I'm just. It's just incredible. It's amazing. I mean, you talk about belts to asses. That's what happened there. So I mean, shoot. So, yeah.
Belts to ass. That was a true BTA.
It was a BTA, yeah, for sure. Now you got this week. I mean, Shane, what other big games are there other than the Georgia Tennessee game? Obviously, I mean, is Ohio State Indiana this week or is it next week that they play?
Let's pull it up. Let's see, we are week
12, I believe. We're week 12.
Let's see. Ohio State, Northwestern, LSU, Florida, SMU, Boston College, South Carolina, Missouri, Boise State, San Jose State. There's not really big games this week.
It's really Tennessee, Georgia.
It's Tennessee, Georgia, primetime.
Yep. So, yeah, this is going to be that last week that teams get buys or whatever like that because the next 2 weeks is going to be insane. The next 2 weeks is pretty much going to determine your conference championships and setting up that December 6th, 7th weekend or whatever for your conference champions. And then, the final playoff pairings are going to come out the 8th. So, yeah. Yeah. So big stuff there. So, getting close here to the end of the show. It's been a great show. I did want to cover one thing, and I just found it ironic it happened on Friday. The OG bloodline reuniting just in time for War Games, and then you had Sami Zayn putting up the one, and Roman and the Usos.
No,
I mean, this is what we've been waiting for. So.
Hey, good wrestling is back, man.
Oh man.
Hey.
Roman Reigns puts asses in the seats, man. That's all I'm going to say. And you want to know something else that we haven't really been covering it because we've had so much to do with football and West, and now we're going to get even more busy. But the final thing though about this is that we're 2 months away from the last Raws and SmackDowns being on cable TV. I want you to think about that. I want you to think.
I can't wait to see it on Netflix.
It just is so.
It's an end of an era, guys. It really is.
Like, bro, it was cable TV.
Yep.
Now I got to get on Netflix to watch.
Yeah, you got to get Netflix. So yeah, I mean, so shoot, I don't know, just something, just an observation.
Like, how crazy is that?
Yeah.
The time frame where professional wrestling is on Netflix. Like, It just sounds weird. Like,
it does.
Even to say it's on I love the fact it's on Peacock because
yeah.
Just me. I like to watch primetime wrestling just for shits and giggles because Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan are very special to my childhood.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Mine too. The OGs. They were the OGs of Raw, and then it went to Vince McMahon and Jerry Lawler, and then Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler, and now it's like what Michael Cole or it's the other guy, but you get what there were there's different
stories for a long time.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just one of them things that like it's just going to be shocked not to see Monday Night Raw on USA, and it was on Spike TV for a while when that was a channel and everything, but it's going to be interesting to see on Netflix. Now, speaking of Netflix, real quick, anybody got a prediction for Tyson and Jake Paul Friday night?
None. I pray that Tyson takes it easy.
Yeah. Man, he's been training like a beast, man. Honestly, that. Did you see? But did you see what he said though? And it breaks my heart because it's like that man was great. Anybody watch his fights back in the day? He was great. Had a little bit of trouble with the law. Stuff happens, but it hurts me to hear him say, "My kids see me as nothing, so I want to show them Friday night that I was once something."
Oh my gosh!
He said that. He said that.
Tape. There's tape, dude. Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
ESPN Classics.
Yep.
those Mike Tyson fights on
Oh
ESPN
my God.
Classic, bruh, he
Yeah.
knocking out some of the greats.
Yes, and here's the thing. Muhammad Ali even said, "I didn't want none of him." Like Ali said, I would have never wanted any of him, honestly. And when Ali says that, that's something right there.
That is-
So,
yeah,
I mean, and I love those boxers. When we were kings back in the day, man, Foreman,
right.
Smoking Joe Frazier, Ken Norton, all them
Ernie
dudes.
Favors.
Yes, those were the dudes, man. And so what I'm saying is that I hope he doesn't, die in the ring or anything like that. I was holding my breath for that Ric Flair last match, and I know it ain't this, but what I'm getting at is I just want Tyson to show whatever he's got to get out of the basement, like the old Rocky Balboa thing, get it out of your system, and maybe you knock the kid on his ass. I don't know. But truth be told, he to be in that type of shape at 58, hands up, hats off, man, hats off to you, bro. And then to finish it up, Saturday night UFC for the title of greatest heavyweight champion of all time, John's Bones Jones or Stipe Miocic. Saturday night, I'm going to be checking it out because I love me some heavyweights in UFC. So Bones Jones or Stipe Miocic, I think Bones Jones is going to get him, but that's why they have the fight. So yeah, but the title for the greatest heavyweight of all time. So yeah.
Ooh, I was looking up Mike Tyson's quotes for this fight.
Oh yeah, no, he wants his ass.
With a fight around the corner on Friday, Tyson, who vowed to bring out the devil in himself in the ring, made it clear what his intentions are towards Paul.
Mm-hmm.
There are no feelings attached, Tyson said. My own mother should be very careful if she has to get in the ring with me. When it's over, it's over. But while the process is going on, my intention is to hurt him. I hope he has the same intentions or he's in trouble.
Mm.
Yeah, no, he wants to hurt this man.
The old Mike is back when it comes to this.
Yeah, yeah. You know that what the scary thing is, the mentality that he has now.
Yeah.
Had that 30 years ago. Jesus Christ. I mean, oh my God. Yeah, yeah. So, but I'll watch it when I get done with the game on Friday night. I'll definitely go back and watch it. It'll be on Netflix.
He's been training since March.
Yeah,
So
and this fight was supposed to happen over the summer. He had the little bit of the problem with the heart. Now he's been cleared, so we'll see what happens. So, but great show as always, guys. It's late, but thanks for tuning in. Shout out to everybody on the chat box. Shout out to everybody that's supporting and liking us. Two Pair is going to be doing a lot of stuff with the YouTube and the Instagram. So definitely, spread the word, like and subscribe. It's free. Tell everybody about us, and remember that clock don't stop when the clock hits zero, baby. So Rebels with a Cause Friday night, show up to Marble City, cheer on the Rebels as they try to go for that three-peat. Shane, final thoughts, baby, and then Two Pair close us out.
boys, come out there and do what you got. Do what you got to do. We know we saw what you're capable of last week. Come out and do it again. I want to see us get that third straight championship. We're in the fourth quarter now. Everything you've got till you're holding that gold ball up.
Thank you, Steven Johnson. Shout out, brother. So you betcha, Coach. Two Pair, close us out like we always do, baby. Got to throw up that W too.
Oh
So,
man,
yeah.
W man. Look, it's Rebels with a Cause. It's about handling business, and they'll be handling business in Marble City. So throw it up, man. Love, peace, and chicken grease. They're not leaving. They're not leaving. They're not leaving.
Serious business Friday night, boys. Go Rebels. And we out.